You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Hey guys, and welcome. It's me, Damon Hart, here with the Real Men of Real Estate. And of course, yes, affectionately known as Mr. Foxy, and I'm glad you're here to join me on this episode. Now, this one's going to be a little bit different than the entrepreneurial, positive we can do it, because I feel like if we're going to be part of the Real Men of Real Estate, we also have to talk about the real state of real estate. So we're going to tackle a really, special topic today that I think is going to hit home for a lot of us. But before we do that, I just wanted to share a little bit about, how this is even becoming available to everybody here. I talk a lot about the radio station, KCAA radio, and where we're available to be found on, 1050 AM and 106.5 on the FM stations. When to find us? Of course, you can find us every Sunday, at least my version of the show, every Sunday, 1 p.m. Make sure you tune in. And, you can find us on Roku TV. You can find us on Amazon Fire TV, as well as the Android app as well, under Building Solid Foundations. And I want to talk about, how we can start building some of these solid foundations with our topic today. If this is your first time listening or tuning in and seeing me, my background is really simple. I'm a guy that started out playing Monopoly when I was a kid, and I was fortunate enough in life to be able to start playing Monopoly as an adult in real life, okay? And what that's given me is a lot of insight. I've had a lot of experience in this world that we call real estate. And this platform allows me to give back some of the things that I've been able to learn and grow over the years, in a really easy way, in a fun way, and hopefully it'll impact somebody out there that's looking to get some real stuff here in the real estate business and topic. So with that being said, it's really, really, I feel like almost my duty, right? Because in my life, I've been blessed with the ability to share about real estate and what it's done for me and the impact that it's had. But I realize that I'm super fortunate in what it's been able to do for me. I never had a place where I ever felt that I wouldn't be able to live somewhere. I never felt like I would be without a home. But for many Americans, that's not the case. A lot of Americans, struggle with homelessness. So I just want to talk a little bit about that topic and get into some of the things that, I think are super important to know about the homelessness challenge that we have here in America, and hopefully just throw around some ideas and possibly some solutions and know what we're doing, what we can do to impact that. So if you're ready to take that journey with me, I say welcome, okay? So, the one thing that you got to know is that the statistics are, here in America, there's about almost 600,000, somewhere around 580,000 people. And that's from the people that track this stuff, the HUD, Housing and Urban Development. They're saying 580,000 people throughout the state of the United States are either experiencing homelessness or regularly homeless throughout our states, right? And I would think, okay, I'm practical. I'm like, maybe it's not so much. That's we got almost 330 million people, 335 million. Okay, so a few people just aren't making it, right? But when you start to look at the whole issue around homelessness as a whole, you start to really put in perspective, like, okay, well, there are a lot of people that are homeless, but what does that all mean? And where is this stuff happening? And I'm going to tell you what was surprising to me is in looking at the statistics is where this stuff is happening. It's not happening in these areas where, you would think that, oh, they just don't have the resources. No, we're experiencing homelessness in some of the most affluent. I mean, New York, Florida, Texas, and right here in California where we're shooting this episode. I mean, we have the most homelessness in those four states in the entire country. Those are the leaders. And you would and just my practical thinking is just like, well, why? Why is this such a problem that in the greatest country in the world still we haven't been able to put a dent, And just to kind of give you an idea, if you look at, by comparison, because I like to say, okay, well, if we're the greatest country in the world, who else is kicking our butt as far as homelessness, right? Well, yeah, Syria in the Middle East, they're experiencing quite a bit of homelessness and have been for years, right? About 29%, almost 30% of the country's 22 million people are homeless. But what saddens me as an American, a person that's, born an American, grew up here, knows this to be the greatest country in the world, just here in the state of California, where we have almost 40 million people as residents, 39 million-ish, we're experiencing about 30% homelessness here in our own state. And I think that's crazy. So, why I'm bringing this up, guys, if you're here tuning in, it's to really just bring some awareness to this as an issue that I don't think we can ignore. I don't think this, if we're looking at other things that are important to us as a society, I would venture to think that homelessness can be one of those things that should be higher on our priority list. And we're going to talk a little bit about why that's so important here in a bit, but I also want to just kind of share, some more stats just to kind of put things in perspective, right? Because, look, me personally, I've lived in 3 out of those 4 states and I've visited all of them, New York, New York, Florida, and here in California, I've been a resident. And I can tell you I've seen some homelessness for sure. But what alarms me is that the idea that, here in California, being here and seeing how because we have a lot of people here, how much homelessness is kind of that thing that you can experience and see and almost become, you're like, oh, it is what it is. I think that's a problem. I think that's something that we got to be cause for concern, because at the end of the day, when we're all getting into, what it is that's going to be our future and our kids' futures and our families' futures, we can't imagine a world where people are living in the streets and it's okay. I feel like we all can agree that homelessness is something we all want to do something about, but we just don't know what to do. So let's talk a little bit about what we can, right? So with that being said, just some quick stats here, just to kind of put things in perspective, just here even like in LA, right? I know you talk about Skid Row but like just here in LA, it's about 66,000 residents are homeless. And if you talk about the 10 million people that live primarily in LA County, that number is shocking. It's like 6 out of every 10,000 people are homeless, and you say, oh, no big deal. But when you put all those people together in one place, then we say, okay, then we might have a problem, right? So I would say this, if you guys are tuning into this and you're coming into this with a heavy heart, this is not something that I chose to put together to pull at your heartstrings or kind of make you feel guilty about being a part of this conversation. I really want to just say, hey, am I the only one in real estate? Because I've been here and part of creating homes and experiences for people for so long that I take it for granted that everybody has a place to live. And I realize, in practicality, that's not the case. Not everybody has a place. And I feel like we're responsible for doing something about it. And I'd really like to open the conversation here with you, to see how we can bridge the gap and what we can do about it and really get intentional about making something happen. So, with that being said, I'm going to ask this kind of like rhetorical question to any of you guys watching there, and that is, do you know someone that's homeless? Right? That's the question. Do you know someone personally that's homeless? And I can say for myself, me personally, at this point in my life, do I know someone that is 100% homeless? The answer would be no. Have I interacted over the years with homeless folks and being in the real estate, relocating people, assistance, all of that? Absolutely. But the reason I'm creating that question and putting it out there is because I think many of us, unless we're really, really dialed into the population, have that interaction with someone that is currently not housed, not living with some family member, and is spending their time in their car or in the street. And I really, really believe in my heart of hearts that for most of us, that doesn't sit well with us, right? But we all feel like, hey, it's a thing that if we can't control it, right? If it's beyond our reach, what do? Well, I'm here to ask that question too. What can we do? I'd like to be able to start the conversation in a public forum so that everybody else that's watching this for this time can actually be a part of that conversation and create a solution. Because I tell you one thing, what I'm seeing right now, and it's just not working. And I think we can do better as a group, as a collective. So I want to figure out how we can do some of that. And in this show, we're going to get to the bottom of what some opportunities will be and what what we can actually create as a community. All right. So with that being said, thank you for being here, part of this episode. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and get into really what the cause of what we got going on and what you can do about it.
Do you remember the power of dreaming? M. Teresa Lawrence helps us all reconnect with imagination through her renowned Leadership of Play coaching program. Schedule a session with Teresa on Instagram at Your Trueness to ignite creativity and pursue huge dreams once more. Don't let your spark fade. DM Teresa at Your Trueness today and reclaim the magic of dreaming.
Tired of qualifying your leads and not getting the right clients for you? Join the finest women in real estate and learn how to attract the best clients and increase your referral network. Call now at 951-378-5316. 951-378-5316. Then become one of the finest women in real estate.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about, so join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Hey guys, it's Damon, Mr. Foxy, Damon Hart, and I'm here with the Real Men of Real Estate. And I just want to say, hey, come and watch us this Sunday, 1 p.m. live, every Sunday. Okay, we're going to be on KCAA Radio, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. If you got a minute, just tune in. We can't wait to have you here. I'm going to be there. If you can't make it on there, we're going to be at Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, or Android app on Building Solid Foundations channel. So tune in. You know what you got to do in the meantime. Keep it foxy.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections. hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. FireUp Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. FireUp Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Hey guys, and welcome back. So look, I promise you that this one will be a little bit different than what we're used to as far as the tone. But I don't want to make this, one that's doom and gloom and void of any possibility. Because, after all, life ain't over, right? We're still here and we still have the ability to create something in this world that we're still living in, right? And we can do it all together. So I wanted to just kind of pose this one question to you, and I'm looking at some stats here. Why should we even care is the question that most people are probably going to ask, right? Because I can't do anything about it. Well, why should I even care? And it brings me back to a story about when I was a kid. I don't know if I don't know if anybody knows the story, but I grew up in St. Thomas, which is a small island, the U.S. territory in the Virgin Islands. And when I was a kid, I remember vividly, I lived in the countryside. My family, we were just a regular working class family. We lived up on a dirt road with my grandma. And I remember when I was a kid, for fun, we would end up going down to this beach. And the beach was Cocoa Point Beach. We would go down there. We could walk from the house. But on the way into the road that would lead you to the beach, where they had a beautiful aquarium, all coral reef. I mean, it was just beautiful. It was like going to an amusement park when you're a little kid. There was a supermarket, small little convenience store, let's call it, on the road there. And I remember as a kid going past there and seeing this one fixture, one guy that was always there in front of the store. And his name was Stevie. Okay. And Stevie, I remember was a guy that was always in front of the store. He would always ask somebody for a couple of dollars. And then, he would usually, the story with Stevie that I could even remember from being a young boy was that he would just, get a couple of dollars, get something to drink, and then, just hang out in front of the bar. That was Stevie's life. And what I remember about the Stevie story is now in hindsight, I realized that obviously he was homeless and, he had some issues going on that just had him stay out in front of the store on a regular basis. But why I'm sharing this story that is so important, I think, is kind of like just a reflection on where we have to be mindful of as a society, is because there in the islands, even though Stevie was just one guy, there was really not a ton of homelessness, right? Because everybody tended to kind of like take care of each other, because being that it was such a small place that everybody knew everybody. You either went to school with each other, your families knew each other. It's not a big metropolis. We all know each other, right? But I think when, you look at Stevie's life and you look at his situation, and him being like one of the only homeless people that I ever saw on the island, it reminded me of the fact that, if one person is out there sitting in the street, that tends to be a reflection of us as a society, okay? Because when we say we're the greatest country in the world, we say that with some pride, and we've always been in America one of the greatest countries that creates opportunity. But yet our own people here are without the opportunity of housing, which is a bare necessity. Okay? So why should we care? I think we should care because, just as much as people cared when they saw Stevie, they would give him a couple of dollars. Stevie would have, a place to live whenever he wanted one. That was the big thing. But we knew that we couldn't have too many Stevies running around the island because it just didn't feel right. It wouldn't feel like family. Nobody would do that. And I think that's why we ought to care, because if we let the homeless uh, issue continue to grow, and I see some statistics now. I mean, you're talking about homeless in Venice, Hollywood, Skid Row. Those have increased all by 13% in the last 2 years. And, and these are some loose statistics that I'm getting from various sources. So give me some room on whether or not they're 100% to the percent where they where they truly are. But any increase, right, means that we're going in the wrong direction. Not to mention cities like Sacramento, or the capital of California, our own capital of the state. And now they're up, from I think we're up 67%, from 2002. So it just kind of gives, I think, people, just to give you some perspective that, things are not getting better here. They're getting progressively worse. And why we should care is because, these people, even though we don't know them, and personally, they are family to our citizens, the people that we call Americans, our contacts. These are the people that depend on us, and look to us for support and guidance together as a group, and they don't have it. So I wonder if we can't do something about that, right? So that's my plea in this, to just say, hey, look, if there's homelessness, we gotta do something about it, right? Other than just saying, oh yeah, that's just what it is. Because at some point, just like my mother did, you're gonna have to explain to your kids, for you parents out there, you're gonna have to explain to your kids, just like I did, why is that person homeless, mommy? Why is that person homeless, daddy? You're gonna have to explain that to them. And I don't know about you, but I never really heard a good answer, right? There's a lot of factors, I mean, you could look at statistics. Some of them are real factors. Like, I had to look this up myself, like domestic violence, which I've seen, family issues, chronic health, substance abuse, mental illness, PTSD, lack of affordable housing in some of the bigger markets. Do those all sound like things that are totally foreign to any person that might be listening to this, or anyone you've met with or experienced in your own personal life, maybe in your own family? No way, right? That was supposed to be a rhetorical question, but no way. Everybody's a lack of affordability in housing. Sure, we've all been, everyone can relate, but geez, it's like some of those things are what's causing someone to not have a home. Mental illness, right? Like, we have to be able to figure out a way to bridge this gap. We have to, because at the end of the day, these are someone's family. It might not be your family today, but couldn't it be? Right? Those characteristics aren't that different. So, I wonder if there's something that really we can do about it. And not to mention, this stuff is it's not going away. And if you're practical, because we live in a capitalist society, if you look at the sheer economics, it, on average, and this is by many accounts, it costs, our governments, both state and federal level combined, costs about $40,000 per person per year to assist with the homeless. And that's not a keep it foxy. That's a quotation. It assists with the homelessness. So it costs us as taxpayers, the people that pay, right, to fund it, to help fix this problem, it costs us $40,000 a year. I don't know about you. If we get a group of people together and reallocate that money, I feel like we could do a little bit better. I feel like we could. How? We'll get to that, because I don't think there's just one solution. But I will say this. We got to be able to do better than what we're doing right now, because the numbers are going up. The numbers are going up. And we can't just ignore that. Can we? And that's why that matters. So, I'm going to just kind of, leave you guys with this before we jump into the next segment, and that's really just as simple as, Stevie, right? I talked about Stevie. I talked about him. Now, as life went on, I moved away from the island. Stevie went on and lived a really great life. And he was known as probably the one homeless or two homeless guys in the whole community, and that was his story, right? But what I will tell you is that eventually, as he died, passed away, he was not really surrounded by anyone that knew him personally. The funeral that I do know personally wasn't super well attended, right? It's just some guy that was in the front of a store and then he died, and I will tell you that Stevie's death, although it didn't mean so much to the community, so to speak, other than he was someone that was there and he passed away, I can tell you that he had somebody that was a relative of his at some point that made a difference to him. And I really believe that why we have to do something is not so much because of what, that's a personal family member or something like that, is because, when we look at this homelessness challenge that we're facing, we got to know that's somebody's family. And if we're going to continue to be the greatest nation on the planet, and take care of our people and be the beacon of freedom and prosperity and all the great things that people fight to come to this country for. Now that we're here, we got to do something about it. So I'm going to leave you with this. It's a quote by Booker T. Washington, and it says, "If you want to lift up yourself, we got to lift up someone else." And I believe the best and most effective way to do that is for us to take a hard look at how we can help people find more homes and get steady. So with that being said, on our next segment, we're going to just talk a little bit about how this happens and, get into solutions of what we could do. Because I can't talk about the problem unless we talk about solutions. All right? See you guys in a few.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about, so join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Tired of qualifying your leads and not getting the right clients for you? Join the finest women in real estate and learn how to attract the best clients and increase your referral network. Call now at 951-378-5316. 951-378-5316 and become one of the finest women in real estate.
Real Men of Real Estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station, KCAAradio.com.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate Damon Hart, Foxy Home Buyer, the Foxy Home Buyer, Mr. Foxy. And we're talking really about homelessness and what you can do about it and how you can, play an impact in, the pursuit of getting people housed and really eradicating a problem that's been around forever. Now, you might be tuning in and saying, oh man, for my skeptics out there, it's like, well, what are you going to do? And to be 100% transparent, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to impact this homelessness challenge that we're facing, not only here in California, but across the country. But I am willing to take a shot. I am willing to do something about it. And the reason why is because I'm in the business. I am in a business where I see the amazing value and how important having homes, and not even just homes like, big fancy, mansions or anything like that, or estates. We're talking about just a place to call, your call, it's your own space, call it your own, and a place to rest your head without having to live, on the side of a freeway, or living in someone's alleyway somewhere, or, camping out on the beach. I mean, here where I stay in Oceanside, and I love, my town here, but it's like, even living there, I'm always concerned with just the amount of people that I see that come and go, that are living on the street, and you wonder. And I'm not even talking about just the families, not even just the adults, even, some of them with children that are out in the street and hopefully find resources. But you wonder, in a place where you can go get a $3 burger, right? Or I think McDonald's raised their prices. Maybe they're a little higher now. Maybe it's $4 or $5, right? But you used to be able to go on the dollar menu and get something to eat, right? But in a country where everything is abundant and available, we still have people living in the streets, right? For whatever reason, okay? Some maybe personal preference or whatnot. But I really believe that if there are better solutions, right? If you build a better mousetrap, there should be more opportunity to help, fix the problems that we have. And I think that's one that we got to really look deeply at, right? So, is the solution inside of the government, right? I know many of you are going to ask that. You're going to say, hey, Damon, well, I pay my taxes. Okay, I'm not speaking for all of you. I'm just saying a few of you. I pay all my taxes. I suppose that's what I hire them for, them being the government. They should be fixing this problem for us. But I'm going to ask you, Mr. or Mrs. I pay my taxes, how's that working out? Because when I go out and I get into my backyard and I walk through the streets and I see the same people there that were there months ago, okay, and some new ones coming here and there, I'm left with the feeling that progress is not being made. So how can I just be okay with that? Am I okay with having those same people walking around trying to find housing in the areas, sleeping in, under freeways, in cemeteries, bus stops, in front of stores, and also, just really just being in a place where they need to live and they need space, but at the same time, it's a common area where everybody needs to get around. Does that make sense? I just don't understand how that's going to be sustainable, especially in a time where, for a long time, this country has been experiencing a lot of growth and prosperity. I wonder if that, as time changes and things start to slow down, which they always do. If you live long enough here in the United States, you know that things are not going to be on the up forever. What goes up must come down. And what will we look like as a community? What will our communities look like if we don't do something about this now? And really put some strong thought into making progress and pull it away from our government to make that decision for us, or to make those things happen. Because quite frankly, I'm one of those people. If you had it this long and you haven't figured it out, no offense, maybe we just got to switch it up. Because insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I'm not crazy, okay? And I think most of us realize that maybe we feel a little overwhelmed about what's available and what the task is, but we dang sure know it's not where we would think it should be, right? So what I would ask is, if you're out there and you're considering being a part of this, conversation and thinking, okay, all right, Damon. So what are you asking me? What can I do? What do you want me to do? I'm going to say, the first place to look is going to be, what are you doing now? That's the first question I would ask. And, the second question I would have for you is, well, if you're doing something great, totally appreciate it, stoked. But if you're not doing anything right now, it's like, why not? Right? Is it because you feel like, hey, that's not my place? Is it because you're at a point where you're just like, well, look, like I'm not going to support it. I work hard. I go out and I grind it every day. I don't have the time to go take care of anybody else and their poor decisions in life for me to fix their problems, right? Which is valid. I can understand that point of view too. But what if I shared this story? Just to give you some perspective on how real some of this stuff goes for other people. I'll tell you about a woman named Mary. My wife knows a woman named Mary that we've kind of befriended here living in California. And Mary just recently, out of some desperation because she hasn't seen her dad, her father is in his late 60s, early 70s, and he's been living on the street. Now, dad has had some mental illness, and he's also struggling with some drugs. But he's been living on the street for the last 10 years. So Mary goes out and she makes a request, and this is the only way we know about it. She makes a request to get on to Facebook, and she posts in a group here local to us, and she says, are there any tattoo artists out there that would do a volunteer tattoo? And what does she want on this tattoo? All Mary is asking of these volunteer tattoo artists is if they would do someone that's currently homeless, and if they would tattoo her phone number and name on her dad's body, so that way, if he passes away or if someone finds him dead, they know where to call. And when I heard that for the first time, I thought to myself, like, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life, but it sunk in, and it made sense. Like, how else would she get in touch with this person if he were to pass? But also what was even more surprising is that there were tattoo artists out of the kindness of their own hearts that did respond and said, yeah, we do that kind of stuff all the time. So let's have that sink in for a second, right? That this is a request that's happened more than once to several other tattoo artists from different people, different families that feel the same way that Mary did. So you can't tell me, knowing what I know out of that story and my experiences, and you in your heart of hearts can't tell me that there aren't people that care about this issue. What I think the challenge is that there's not enough people out there that have a way to impact this in a meaningful way. They don't have a way that they feel that they can make a dent. Well, I'm going to tell you, that's all going to change. How? Because there's tons of light workers, people that are out there that want to do better. But you got to understand, this is something that's going to take some effort, and I don't believe it's going to be an effort that's going to come from the top. It's not going to come from the top brass of government and leadership. You know how I know that? Because it's really difficult to get stuff done, even going through the DMV. Okay? It's not a knock. I'm a fan of the United States. And the great thing about being a fan is that fans sometimes are crazy. Yes, they can seem fanatical, right? But I'm also very proud of my team. Team America, that's the team I'm on. And being a fan, I'm allowed to say the things that I don't like about the team, that I want to fix. And I can tell you what the coaches are doing, not really going very well for the team. I think we're losing and we could do better, especially in the realm of homelessness. So what do we got to do as the fans? It's simple. We just got to go to the streets and start making stuff happen for the team. We got to rally the other fans and start making something happen, okay? Because that's the only way that the coaches and the other people are going to pay attention to see what's really working and possible. And we don't have to do it by ourselves. Because if I'm just doing it, not going to happen. It's got to be with you. I'm just the guy bringing the message to you today. So I hope desperately that you guys can hear me, feel me, and know that there's something that we got to do here together for us. Not for anybody else, not to look good. This is for us. So that we don't have to have that conversation and we don't have to be okay with someone getting tattooed their names just in case they die on their body. All right? So with that being said, I got one more segment here with you here in a few. I'm going to let you go take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and close out, and I'm going to ask you I'm going to ask for you to help me out in this endeavor.
Do you remember the power of dreaming? M. Teresa Lawrence helps us all reconnect with imagination through her renowned Leadership of Play coaching program. Schedule a session with Teresa on Instagram at Your Trueness to ignite creativity and pursue huge dreams once more. Don't let your spark fade. DM Teresa at Your Trueness today and reclaim the magic of dreaming.
Tired of qualifying your leads and not getting the right clients for you? Join the finest women in real estate and learn how to attract the best clients and increase your referral network. Call now at 951-378-5316. 951-378-5316 and become one of the finest women in real estate.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about, so join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Hey guys, it's Damon, Mr. Foxy, Damon Hart, and I'm here with the real men of real estate. And I just want to say, hey, come and watch us this Sunday, 1 p.m. live, every Sunday. Okay, we're going to be on KCAA Radio, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. If you got a minute, just tune in. We can't wait to have you here. I'm going to be there. If you can't make it on there, we're going to be at Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, or Android app on Building Solid Foundations channel. So tune in. You know what you got to do in the meantime. Keep it foxy.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Okay guys, welcome back. It's me, Mr. Foxy, the Foxy Homebuyer, foxyhomebuyer.com. With the real men of real estate, wanting to say thank you for tuning into this episode. And as I promised, what I'm going to do is now give you an opportunity to just talk about how we can impact this serious challenge that we're having with homelessness and what you can do about it. So really, I only have three real ways that I think, we can all decide if this is something that we want to participate in. And it would really start with this first question, and that is, where are you in this conversation? Do you feel like this is something that you want to do something about, or is it not? And it's okay to be honest here, because look, the reality in life is we all have choices, but there's also a tremendous amount of power in knowing, where your choice lies, and being confident in that. If you decide that you don't want to do anything about homelessness, it doesn't matter to you, and that's your stance, and we'll leave it to however that gets worked out to the others at this point in the game, that's okay. But if you're someone that feels like, yeah, I may not have all the answers, Damon, but I dang sure want to do something at this point in the game, and I want to find out how to do that, I'm going to say to you, we're going to jump right into how we can do that, okay? We're going to get into that. Then the next part, I would say, is that no matter what side of the coin that you end up on, whether it's, not necessarily taking action now and wanting to do anything, or deciding that you want to do something, I think we can all understand and be realistic and be a little bit more inclusive in understanding that, it's not them, right? The homeless are not them. The homeless are not separate from us, right? Just like we can include our neighbors, right? And say that person lives in my neighborhood. Or if I'm from Oceanside, oh, I'm from Oceanside. Oh yeah, I'm down there I'm from Delray. I'm from Delray or OC or wherever, LA. If you're claiming those areas, guess what? You got to claim everybody else, because we're all the same. That's not them, that's us. And no matter what, our impact on each other is going to happen based off of how we relate to each other. So if we can take nothing else from, well, not nothing else, but if we can take something from this conversation here today, is that to know that those people that we see and we think, oh man, the homeless are really devastated, or in Skid Row, they don't, that's us. Not physically, but those are our people. And if you can embrace that idea, I think that gives us a start to know that this issue is not going to go away until we decide at a larger level, more collective level, that we can all take responsibility for each other and start to just do something. And that something doesn't have to be anything major, right? Because I think, in life, we think that these things, our efforts have to be huge in order for us to do something. But when's the last time you experienced something amazing? I'm going to ask this question. When's the last time you experienced anything amazing from a huge effort? I would think most of us would say no. It's a combination of little things, and especially at a mass scale, that miracles show up, right? Those babies, I use the baby analogy. Those babies started small, and then they grew cell by cell, and they come out to be these beautiful human beings. And then they get older, and we say they're crazy. They're teenagers, right? But these are all of our people, and we're gonna help them a little bit at a time. So what I'm gonna ask for here is, I'm gonna say, if you're one of those people, you want to do something or not, that's okay. You realize that, hey, maybe I don't get it all the way, but yeah, I would acknowledge a little bit that those people are also us. That's us, our people here. We're claiming them too. I'm going to say that if we could, what we can do about it is we're going to start by doing an effort. And this is something that it was heavy on my heart. I did not expect this was going to be my life, this part of my life, but it's speaking to me and I'm going with it. We're going to do something about it. Not only me personally, but also here with my company, we're going to do something about it. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is join and visit foxyhomebuyer.com/bring us home. And what we're going to be doing there is going to be working to impact the homelessness that is actually growing, and look to slow down and then reverse the course of homelessness here in California and the state of Florida, the two markets where we work. Okay? And why we're doing this is because we feel that we got to start somewhere. We got to do it. And if we can do it to start it, we can do it collectively. Okay? Now, I'm going to leave you guys with that. Again, foxyhomebuyer.com/bring us home, and our homelessness initiative to eradicate homelessness. That's what we're on. And I'm going to ask for your help. Go on there, visit us, and then check out what we have going on there and see how you can participate. But the last thing I'm going to leave you with, guys, besides me being grateful and saying thank you for being here on the show and tuning in and giving me precious amount of your time, is I'm going to leave you with this quote. And it's by somebody you might have heard of. I don't know. You know, she's not quite as popular as Katy Perry or other people, right? But her name is Mother Teresa, if you've heard of her. And it goes a little something like this. None of us, including me, ever do great things. But we all can do small things with great love. And together, we can do something wonderful. So I pray and I ask for your support to do something small and wonderful and with love together, so that we can make this world a better place for not only just me and you, but all the future generations to come. And with that, I want to say thank you again for tuning in to the Real Men of Real Estate and allowing us to be a little bit real with you today. In the meantime, you know what you guys got to do. Keep it foxy for now. Ciao.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Do you know where you are? Well, you've done it now. You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station. So expect the unexpected.
Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau Diarco Super Tea helps build red corpuscles in the blood, which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it